Did you like it though? Did you?
Double time.
What's good, people? This that fantasy guy back with another video, and today we're going to talk about Garrett Wilson. This is his rookie profile and fantasy football outlook. Let's get it. Now, Garrett Wilson went to Ohio State. That is wide receiver university. All they do is produce well-developed receivers. He's 6 foot, 183, ran a 4.38. Five-star recruit, kick returner, caught passes purely with his hands. He gets open, gets yards after the catch. I really like this guy. Like I said on the Traylon Burks video, I've been switching Traylon Burks and Garrett Wilson out as the number one, not figuring out. And I think I talked through it, and I think Garrett Wilson is my number one. I think it's concrete now. I don't think nothing can change. I think I'm good now. I think I'm good. I believe Burks have the higher ceiling. Like if Burks really work out like he did in college, he has the higher ceiling. But I feel like Wilson is a safer bet. I like Wilson had 10-inch hands like I like. He almost met my alpha profile. I think he was only point something off of the dominated rater that I like. So I just gave it to him. He was top 5 in yards per route, and he was also an early declare. So my guy got a lot working for him. Looking on NFL mock draft database, he is projected to be the top receiver off the board, the number one receiver off the board, and he is getting an average of the number 10th overall pick, but a consensus team pick of the number 8 going to the Atlanta Falcons. So let's look around that spot, see if there are anyone that might snipe the Falcons. And number 3, we have the Texans. That the Texans have so many needs, it wouldn't make sense not to grab a player that's not a generational talent. Garrett Wilson is not a generational talent to me. And number 4, you have the Jets. I feel the exact same way on what I just said about the Texans. Jets, you have needs. Your biggest need is not another wide receiver. So I doubt they would draft Garrett Wilson. Number 5, New York, you have other needs. You do not need another wide receiver. Number 6 is the Carolina Panther. You have a quarterback need. You bet not draft the wide receiver first. Number 7 is the Giants again. You still shouldn't be drafting a wide receiver, but if you had to, which you just paid, you just picked the number 1 receiver, you paid another one, and you still got Sterling Sharp. No, it would not make no sense for you to draft the receiver. You bet not. And then we got number 8, the Falcons. It feels too early. Look, to me, it just feels too early for Garrett Wilson to go anywhere around the spot. He's good, but he's not that good. But the Falcons is the same team that drafted a tight end 4th overall, the highest tight end to ever go, 4th overall. So they don't have a quarterback. No. They just signed Mariota as a quarterback. I don't know if he's a bridge quarterback or they're going to think this is going to work. I don't know what they're thinking, but to me, yeah, you need a receiver. You really need wide receiver help, and Garrett Wilson would really help. But this just feels so early to get Garrett Wilson, but I don't have any faith in the Falcons organization. Go ahead and draft who you want, man. Go ahead and draft Garrett Wilson. Why not? You really need wide receiver help. After that, we got the Seahawks. They don't need any wide receiver help. Number 10, you got the Jets. Like I said, they don't really need it. Washington don't really need it. Like when we talking about drafting a wide receiver in the first round, none of these people need a wide receiver that bad. Then you got the Vikings at 12. It's about time to put Thielen out to the pastures, right? But you shouldn't be drafting a wide receiver the first round. And then 13, we got the Texans. That would be a prime spot. So Falcons or the Texans? There we go. There you go. So I think Garrett Wilson is going to get drafted at 8 by the Falcons. Another overdraft for Falcons. And if the Falcons make the right decision, they will let Garrett Wilson fall all the way to 13 to the Texans. But the Texans finally can draft a first round wide receiver because they third pick, I don't know what they're going to use it on, but it bet not be a wide receiver. And it's not going to be a quarterback because they still want to stay with. They said they want to stay with Mills. All right, let's try to project where he's going to go in redraft. And to do that, we always take a look at where he's going in best ball. In the FFPC Best Ball League, he is currently going in the 8th round. If he goes to the Falcons, I really don't think that's going to change because do we really think Marcus Mariota can support a top tight end and a top wide receiver? So I don't think his ADP is going to change. But if he's drafted by the Texans, I think Mills can make it happen, and I think he may rise up around. As far as where he's going in Dynasty and Dynasty startups, his ADP is currently 7-7, so that's the 7th round, and that is near Michael Pittman. Would you rather have Michael Pittman? Who he's throwing? Matt Ryan will be throwing him the ball. I honestly probably would rather Garrett Wilson. Amari Cooper, Garrett Wilson. For some reason, I have faith in this Amari Cooper connection to Watson, but give me the younger player because for some reason, Amari Cooper don't have the value when you go to resell Amari Cooper. Nobody really wants Amari Cooper. He is viewed as damaged goods. So the only one of those two that can go up in value is Garrett Wilson. And you want to try to secure the assets that's going to continue to grow in value. Darren Waller or at 77. If this is a tight end, I play in a lot of safe leagues, and they're 2-point tight end premium. I'm going with Waller. I like Garrett, but I don't like him that much. I'm gonna have to choose Waller over him. At 78, behind Garrett Wilson is Baker Mayfield. We haven't found a spot on Baker Mayfield yet, but I guess that would just depend if you're desperate for a quarterback because Mayfield doesn't excite me whatsoever. Then at 79, Hopkins, 80, Amon St. Brown, 81, Ezekiel Elliott. So I'm taking Garrett Wilson over all of them. Let's see. Let's see how far I will go up. TJ Hawkinson at 73. Like I said, it's all about if it's tight end premium or not. If it's not, I'm going with the wide receiver. I don't care about tight ends if it's not tight end premium. Like, if the league not tight end premium, I even want one of the top tier tight ends, or I can care less about tight ends. It's just that simple. Either top tier, either give me the best you got off the top shelf, or I don't want it, none of it at all. So if I'm ignoring the wide receivers, I probably would draft him as high as 63. And there's some people I want over. I don't. They got Terry McLaurin at 59. I would rather Garrett Wilson over Terry McLaurin. Like, so some of these people, Treylon Burks going at 57. As I told you, Garrett Wilson is my wide receiver 1. He's the safest pick. If you just going for pure upsides, hey, go with Burks because he could be special. If everything translate over to the NFL like he was doing in college, he can be special. Unless he go to an offense that's putrid, like the Ravens or one of these run heavy teams. I do not have a play style comp for him, but his athletic comps are Rashard Bateman, Johnny Lee Higgins. Who? Johnny Lee Higgins. Never heard of him. Dante Pettis, Sammy Parker, Jerome Mantis. A lot of guys I never heard of. On Player Profiler, his best comparable comp is Jerry Judy, and their playing styles are not the same to me whatsoever. Yeah, one person that is a elite route runner, and Garrett Wilson still has some work to done. He has a lot of polishing to do with his game. So, what is his current dynasty value? Well, he's been going at the 104 and 105 in drafts. Trey Burks has been going as the wide receiver one in the rookie drafts I've been in. You'd have like Hall, it'll be Bryce Hall, Willis, or Traylon Burks, either one of them going at the 2 and 3. Then it would be either Kenny Walker or Wilson. So that's where you got them going at. So if I had the 104, I'll feel comfortable that I'm going to get Wilson, and it'll be Traylon Burks as a consolation prize. If not, unless you just have people that are out on Willis, and right now there are in on Willis. So we'll find out when his landing spot happened to see exactly how people view him. But let's say you had the 104, maybe 103, and you knew for a fact you was gonna get one of those wide receivers. How much would it cost you to trade out of it? Would you trade out of there for a 23 first and a 23 second? Would you trade out of that spot for the 112 and a 23 first? Would you trade out the spot? Like what would it cost you? For me, if you give me two firsts, and a 23 first is involved in that, that spot is yours. That spot is yours because I'll take my swing on a receiver at the 112, and we'll see where the chips land with me getting that 23 first for next year. Even if I don't use that 23 first to draft, just having a 23 first in the possession, I can use for a trade or something like that because the perceived value is so high. So just having that as an asset is worth a lot. But I don't like to hold you guys long. If this is your first time viewing the video, go ahead and subscribe for me. Comment if you have any thoughts. Anyway, I'll holler at you guys next time. As I always say, there is no off season for champions. Peace.